Your credit history and your credit score truly are the gateways to getting everything that you want in life. If you've been putting off fixing your credit because you don't know where to start or where to begin, you've come to the right place. Today, I'll be going over some dirty little do-it-yourself credit repair secrets the pros don't want you to know so you can save some money and get on the right track financially. Let's get started. My name is Cuttonaro. I'm a serial entrepreneur and I own a successful online reputation management agency. If you or your brand's reputation online need help, reach out and we'll talk. Real quick, before we get into this video, please hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon down below so you never miss a video. I started my career as a mortgage broker, so I've seen firsthand how much of a role credit plays on your ability to obtain great financing deals and your ability to get what you want out of life. If you're in that boat where your credit score is holding you back, the tips and strategies that I'm going to share today will get you on the right financial track. Now, let's get right into it. Step number one, if you want to improve your credit score, you need to know where you stand. If your credit's poor right now and you don't want to look at the number, I can understand how hard that may be, but you need to face that fear. And I'd suggest downloading the Credit Karma app. Taking a look at your credit score and knowing where you stand across multiple credit bureaus. And just to give you some insight, here's my credit score right here. I know where I stand and I check it regularly, once a week, sometimes multiple times a week. And to give you some more insight about my credit, I'm currently juggling 27 open lines of credit, and I obtained my first credit card when I was 17 years old. I've never had a late payment, and I have a perfect credit history. Now that we've established where I'm at, it's important to establish where you're at right now. Remember, your credit score is just a number, and if you don't know where you stand today, there's no way that you can improve where you're at tomorrow. Benchmarks matter. Know your number, know your score, and that'll be the starting point to work from. Next, address negative remarks and delinquent accounts first. It doesn't matter what the balance is on these delinquent accounts. They could be really small. If you have delinquent accounts, they are bringing your entire credit score down, even compromising the good lines of credit, which you're maybe paying each and every month and you're being responsible with. Now, the reason why you have these delinquent accounts may vary, and likely they're under $1,000 and you have them for BS reasons. Maybe it's a cell phone carrier that overcharged you in the past and you refuse to pay. Maybe it's a medical billing company charging you for things that you shouldn't be charged for. Maybe it's a utility company and you forgot about paying a bill and it's just been on your credit report. Whatever the case is, if you can pay that bill and satisfy it in full quickly, just do it. If you don't have the money, but you know the company, reach out to them, call them up, negotiate a lower payment or rate, and then call the credit bureaus and explain to them what the situation is. You're going to need those negative remarks removed if possible quickly, and you need to satisfy those accounts to move on and continue your journey forward to improve your credit score. Next, address any late fees immediately. There may be some people, could be you right now, watching this video who are behind this month on paying a credit card or maybe a loan. It happens. Maybe you're traveling or life just got in the way, or maybe you just didn't have the money to make the payment. Regardless of the situation, make the minimum payment, call the credit card, call the lender, and explain the situation. Request that the late fee, it might be $40, it may be more, be reversed. And if you've been good in the past, they'll likely do that. They want to keep you happy, but at the same time, you need to keep them happy. And last, ensure that that late payment will not count negatively toward your credit score. Next, automate the minimum monthly payments. If you're the type of person who's forgetful, maybe you're juggling many credit cards and it's hard to remember the dates which the minimum amount is due, automate it. It's as simple as going on your credit card company's website or maybe the lender and just setting automated payments for whatever the minimum amount is before the day it's due. Now, once you've established that safety net, be sure to pay and supplement additional funds toward paying down your debt so you're getting off that hamster wheel and that revolving door that you know happens when you let debt mount and those interest rates inflate the total obligation due. Okay, if you've taken my advice so far, you're on the right track. Now it's time to kick it into high gear and request that your credit limits increase. Let's say you have 2 credit cards and both are in good standing. One credit card has a total line of credit of $2,000. The other credit card, $1,000. So your total amount of credit between the 2 cards is $3,000. Increasing the amount of credit you have is not only helpful in case you get into a pinch or a jam and you actually need to utilize the credit, but it's also helpful for your credit score. So, if you've been responsible with your credit cards and you're now on the right track, call your credit card companies and state that you'd like the line increased. They will tell you what they can do, so you don't have to go and say, I'd like my line increased to 10, but just ask for more. They'll likely give it to you, and as a result, it will help your credit, but also give you a cushion in the event you need it. Next, don't be in a rush to close down credit cards you may not be using actively right now. Let's assume that you're on the right track and you've paid down your balances and you even have some credit cards which have no balance and you've committed not to using ever again. It could be a Kohl's credit card, maybe a Victoria's Secret credit card, perhaps Best Buy. Whatever the case is, don't rush to close those credit cards down. Especially, don't do it all at once. It could really have a negative impact on your credit score. Instead, take those credit cards and put them in a safe place. If you close those accounts down, it could negatively impact your credit score and greatly compromise your ability to increase your credit score. Because if you've opened those cards up a long time ago, age of credit matters, and it could negatively impact that average age of credit life between all of the credit cards that you have. So, as long as the annual fees are very low or non-existent, keep the cards open. Next, be mindful of hard inquiries. Let's continue to assume that you're on the right path and you're using credit responsibly. Let's say that you've even seen an increase in your credit score as a result of doing all the right things and taking care of what you needed to take care of. Be mindful of hard inquiries on your credit report. Every time you would apply for a mortgage, that's a hard inquiry. Every time you're looking to open up a credit card in your personal name, that's a hard inquiry. Hard inquiries can have a negative impact on your credit score. More important, if you are performing multiple hard inquiries at the same time, it may have a negative impact on your credit score. Simply put, to the eyes of a credit bureau, if you're aggressively looking to open up lines of credit, that might be an indicator that there's something wrong. It's not normal to be looking to obtain a mortgage, obtain 2 credit cards, even if they're the right credit cards, maybe a boat loan, and maybe a car lease. If you're doing all of that in a short duration of time, it can be perceived as a red flag. Even though you might be financially stable and perfectly fine making the minimum monthly payments or more, it's still something to be really mindful of. Okay, so I just spoke about the pitfalls of too many hard inquiries. The same pitfalls hold true if you're not opening up enough lines of credit. So there are many people out there who have the mindset of, if I have the cash, I don't want to open up credit cards, like they're a bad thing. That can negatively impact your credit score or put you in a position where you just can't get credit when you really need it. So, increasing the number of open lines you have when used responsibly and not all at the same time can be extremely helpful. Also, increasing the diversity and the different types of credit can be helpful too. For example, having a car loan or a car lease, as the case may be, can be helpful if you want to obtain a mortgage. It shows credit worthiness, and that's what you want to show the credit bureaus to increase your score and ultimately increase your borrowing ability. Number one, that you know how the game works. Number two, that you know how and when to pay your bills. That's a key component. And three, that you're responsible and you know what you're doing. So, not having enough credit or not having any credit cards or any loans utilized can be hurtful. So you came here today for a dirty little credit repair secret. Well, I'm about to deliver one that can really help dramatically increase your credit score and get you on the right track fast. I've personally used this one to help my wife's credit score increase dramatically. It's pretty incredible. This method works really well for couples, whether they're married or in domestic partnerships, and business partners. This is how it works. Partner A has great credit. Partner B, not so great. What Partner B needs to do is ride off Partner A's good credit. How does this work? Partner A is going to need to get Partner B on an account. This could be a credit card, this could be a loan. Whatever the case is, that account must be in good standing, and Partner A should probably be responsible for paying the bills. By default, Partner B just being on the account with Partner A who has stronger credit should be helpful, especially if that line of credit is huge. For example, total line of credit that Partner A has on a credit card is $20,000 rolling. That could be extremely helpful for Partner B to have access to if they only have, let's say, 3 credit cards and the total aggregate of credit between those 3 credit cards is about $1,000. Now, this works best when you trust the partner. Don't do this with people you don't know. Like I said before, this is great for people who are in domestic relationships, married couples, business partners. This is one trick people, even professional credit repair specialists, don't want you to know. My name is Cuttonaro, and I'll see you next time.